I'm going to get really real with you. I had the inspiration to go live today, and I had some different ideas and material come through me. But what I realized that I haven't really shared publicly is one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn, which has to do with learning how to play the game and not hate it. I'm going to be speaking about two main things. One, embodiment and expression. And two, money and beliefs about yourself as a healer who has a soul aligned business. The first thing is natural embodiment. And this directly will inevitably correlate to every aspect in your life, but it especially correlates to your business because, my dear, who you are is who people are going to be attracted to, either consciously or subconsciously or both. And so what's really important to understand is that if you are uncomfortable in your body and in your experience outside of your business, in any way, you're going to be uncomfortable inside of your business. You're going to be feeling discomfort when you show up on live streams, when you are with clients, when you are writing copy, when you are networking and sharing your gifts and sharing your offers and sharing your results. And for me in particular, it's been a journey of alchemicalizing my sexuality. It's from me going through the underworld journey of being a person in a female body in this lifetime and realizing that the source of attention that I would receive, the catcalls, the attention, the unwanted attention from males in particular, although it has been from women as well, but the attention that would cross my boundaries, either verbally or non-verbally. Not having desire to wear lipstick or be who I am, or to allow my natural expression to come through because of the attention that I would receive from mostly men in the world, everywhere I would go. That was very uncomfortable for me, to be a young woman in my early 20s and having a well-known artist and professor come into my job at a bar and cafe in the college town where I lived after I graduated from college, and having him hit on me in a way that felt like a total slime fest in the middle of an extremely busy shift. And how I couldn't handle that. My nervous system exploded in this certain example. I ran to the back bathroom and I cried and I rashed out my rage. I yelled at this man to myself. I told my female colleagues about this. I might have even mentioned it to my boss, my male boss at the time, of how like this was the most slime comment and nonverbal cue I just received, and how that made me so uncomfortable that I really wanted to just wear a suit the rest of my life. And so I've had to come to terms around my embodiment, not just the embodiment that I choose to embody and have belief and my own self-image, but literally my physicality, my genes. And that has been a hard go at certain points because of my refusal to let these types of remarks and comments and flirtations, harmful or not, come into my field and not affect me. Or even better, come into my field and me having choice as to how they will affect me and how I actually respond to them. I never thought I could be in a position where I would receive a sort of catcall and I'd say, that's right. Mm-hmm. And give a little grin and a nod. Never thought I'd be in that level of baller energy, if you will. I wanted to hide most of my life. I wanted to blend in. I wanted this physicality to just be as low-key as possible. No attention, please. It's too overwhelming for me. No attention, please. I'm much more than this body. And so this alchemy that I went through in coming to terms with my unique physicality and my embodiment, and how I knew I needed to make a choice, that this was either going to run my life and make me feel insecure, make me feel invisible and yearn to be even more invisible, or I needed to find the play. I needed to learn how to play the game of embodying my truth and my sensuality, my physicality, and ultimately my deepest DNA. And what I didn't realize that this would be absolute key to me running a successful healing business. That almost daily I get comments from out of left field and things coming in my direction, people's opinions, both on me intellectually and me physically, and how the root of my ability to digest all of this information, these opinions, these remarks, these comments coming towards me in the online space was because I nailed it. I nipped my anxiety. I nipped my judgments. I nipped my fear. I nipped my patterns of wanting to hide and be invisible in my physical world in order for me to play this game online. So that's my first point in how to learn to play the game, so to speak. My second point, how I stopped hating the game. This was a harder one, actually, because this really was something that I was receiving evidence everywhere in my life. That the only way to be a successful healer was to have certain pricing at a sliding scale and to welcome everyone into your field, to not turn away anyone. That in fact, turning away someone is you not being in integrity at your highest vibration as a spiritual leader and healer. Where I picked this up was multifold. It was not only from some of my mentors, it was from also some of my friends who were licensed and professional psychologists. They had masters in family counseling, or they had a PhD in behavioral psychology and had an independent practice. And, they let me know that you need to serve everyone and be humble about your position, especially if you work with shamanic modalities or if you work with more oracular modalities like divination, astrology, tarot, things like that. Everywhere I looked, in the yoga community, authentic yoga teachers are the ones who have the donation-based classes. They're the ones that have multiple classes per day, that are always teaching, that are always letting people in their field, that have 4 roommates, that do it for the love of yoga. They do it because they're so passionate about it, and they're passionate about healing and bringing this divine knowledge to the West. And they're not allowed to make money from it. Nope, that's against the rules. In fact, that would be a violation of cultural appropriation in the widest sense, that people believe that to be a part of these rules that we believe. And so you may not agree with what I share in this video or any of my videos or transmissions, and thank goodness. Nuance is often perceived as threatening, but nuance is actually where we get to grow the most, where we get to have our life turned upside down in a way that allows us to step into a life that is more aligned with our truth and our wisdom. But this is my unique channel, cultivated from over a decade of studying the healing arts and healing my own embodiment. So this is what I have to share. Money. I used to believe it was bad and that only the elites had money. There was no way, growing up in a lower middle class situation in the middle of the US, that I was going to get into an Ivy League school. There was no way that was going to be possible. In fact, there was almost no way it was going to be impossible to be admitted into a really good state school. I was out of state because of my stance, because of my lack of connections and whatnot. So I immediately associated knowledge, wealth, and freedom to be only for elites. And so when I'd run into people, especially on college campus, and I realized, oh, they're from the wealthier place of St. Louis, I immediately backed off. I immediately thought, oh no, we are cut from different cloths. We have a totally different perspective on this world. You have parents, they support you. You're going to always be supported. You come from money. I don't. And so from the very moment I stepped on college campus and started to realize my judgments and my hangups around people who came from wealthier backgrounds, I started limiting myself. I started limiting the areas where I could learn, where I could grow, where I could network, where these people who had this level of wealth that I did not have access to at the time. But instead, I took about 6 years moaning and groaning and having really, really strong anarchist feminist opinions on those who had wealth and who were carrying the largest amount of money on the planet, but also just in general. Having $100,000 or more income, you were filthy rich in my life. And I didn't have any tolerance for that. I had tolerance for people like me who carved out a life for themselves and made it work, saved and invested, saved and invested, saved. From a young age, my aunt saw how frugal I was in the way that I would save money and how I would have interest payments on when my brother would borrow money from me. And I'd say, all right, well, you have 20% interest on this $20 bill. It was rooted in a belief that money wasn't going to be in the cards for me, that it wasn't part of my family story, and that the people that I knew who had money were not people that I could relate to. And so when I decided to become an entrepreneur and I decided that, oh, I wanted to be sovereign and generate my own money, I didn't connect this force of limitation in my money mindset to my success as an entrepreneur until much later down the road. Why do I think that is? I think it's because I chose a life of the healing arts. And so my already preconceived limiting ideas about money from my own conditioning were enhanced by the healing arts community. Beliefs that we need to be radically inclusive with our clients, that it's exclusive to have rates like $500 or more an hour for your healing services, for your coaching services. Surely you're not that talented. You can't get life-changing results for your clients if you're charging that. You're just full of shit. So much limitations put on healers and alternative personal growth providers, the coaches and the mentors that are really paving the way forward in this new paradigm of helping each other rise together. But my dear, we don't help each other rise by having judgments on how we conduct our business and how we set our prices or how we market. Just by me being so visible on my Facebook channel, more so now than before, most likely offends a lot of people. How dare I use my personal profile to talk about my business and to talk about my passion and invite people to work with me? How dare I market in a certain way and have a certain price? It is the invitation of a lifetime to step up as an online business owner, a service provider specific, and say, screw it to all the naysayers. And especially to people whom you admire and whom you respect, who have very, very strong beliefs, strong opinions, and even a moral compass that teeters towards there's only one way to be a healer and a spiritual leader and a coach in this world, and it is this way for sure. Otherwise, it's dangerous, it's manipulation. Poor, vulnerable people will come to you and you'll exploit them because of your prices. I used to think that. I definitely used to think that. I used to have very strong opinions by astrologers that I'd run into that were charging over $500 per hour-long session. Very strong opinions about coaches who charge over $1,000 per 1 hour session. I used to kind of compulsively scroll through their website, their testimonials, just trying to find some ounce of evidence that they were a complete fraud. That's how much I was offended by people being free in their business and in their pricing and their own self-integrity. It was so obvious in retrospect. I had my own hangups, my own limitations that made me obsess about others' freedom and choice in their business and how they conduct transformation in their service-based business. So I say this because it's not like I haven't been on the other side. I used to follow people who would share the news about certain gurus or spiritual teachers who were indeed exploiting their students and had weird things of money and sex and power all wrapped up and together into this strange package. It's a very attractive package that a lot of people took. And there were plenty of people that were exploited, the gurus and the spiritual leaders, that is, who actually were in their right, that they were just in their own wisdom and embodiment that was threatening to others. There's always multiple sides of a story. There's always nuances, but it's so hard for us as humans to hold contradictory information and not lose our minds. It feels safe to say, nope, this is how it is, and it is not like that. It feels good in the body to have that level of certainty, of intellectual understanding of something. What doesn't feel good is having to confront your own self-imposed limitations that may be coming out in judgments of others, especially what they charge in their business. So for me, I went deep into my story about money, and especially the judgments that I had around men who had money. I thought, because of my anarchist feminist background, that, man, those men with all the money, they are the absolute scum of the earth. I can't even tolerate being in their presence or just walking down the same street as them. In Chicago, I can just smell their sliminess a mile away. Ooh, Brooke, that's a really strong opinion. Really strong story, narrative you got going on there. So what did I do? I started networking with millionaires, male millionaires, to be specific. I went into the heart of my own personal disturbances about reality, about money, and about personal sovereignty, and I started networking with millionaires. I started to learn how they paid for things, how they perceived the world, how they fundamentally perceived themselves. As many people don't know that people who are at a caliber of wealth where they have choice in what type of investments they can make, from something as like a $10,000 car to a $300,000 car, if they can afford it and it contributes to their self-image, that is how they see and perceive and what they believe themselves to be, they're going to go for that $300,000 car and not flinch. I did not understand this because of my background and because I just had a strong, that area of life and that area of business and money and the people that are really having success in these levels of wealth. Like, no, I'm here with the artists. I'm here with the revolutionary thinkers. I'm here with the creatives, the people who are like, F the system, right? That's where I felt most comfortable with. What I didn't realize is that there's plenty of people who are also revolutionaries, who really can think and can really F the system in their own type of way, who are multimillionaires. I just could not fathom that. And because I could not fathom the potential of this, it wasn't in my field. I didn't run into it until I made the decision that I wanted to run into it. And I did. I know a handful of amazing millionaires. And I don't disrespect them at all, like I once did. Do your own thing. Totally cool. How can I help you? I'm a guide. So I wanted to share this journey that I haven't shared before publicly, this money journey, and also the journey of judging other spiritual leaders and putting labels such as, they must be narcissists, they must have psychological hangups, they must be completely self-absorbed, they must be abusing their clients, they must be exploiting people, they must be enabling people's trauma in order for them to have these certain rates in their business and their offerings. Ask yourself, where is this coming from? If you have these similar beliefs. And where are you feeling this in your body? Because this topic of money, I wasn't just feeling in my guts. I was feeling in my head. I was feeling in my upper chest and my throat. Whew. This stuff goes deep. And it's important to go deep in this work and to keep going deep. And to realize that people hire you because they want to learn something about themselves. And they feel safe in your energy and your expertise. So that desire can be revealed in a certain way or multiple ways. It's a hunger for change. That is why people hire personal consultants and coaches. If they hire you based on they like something materialistic about you, maybe you have a similar background or you like similar things, that's not someone you want to be working with. And if you're attracting those type of people into your field, you need to ask yourself why that is. Because the heart of your message and the heart of who you are is not revealing itself to its full totality and to its full potential. And what's also great about really understanding pricing in your business is that you get to self-validate yourself in your pricing. You could spend the next year of your life doing a research project on all the tens, the hundreds, there's probably 1 million coaches at least online right now in how they price themselves and what they believe about pricing. You could do a full spectrum research project and have inconclusive evidence that is contradicting contradictory to itself in every niche, every zone of the coaching industry. Pricing is truly a personal thing, and the only person that can validate you in that journey is yourself. I wish I knew this so many years ago. So that's why I'm sharing this with you, because it has changed my life. It's changed how I see myself. It's changed how I create offers. I have offers at all different levels because of my own trust, my own ability to self-validate myself and self-validate my pricing. I have pricing from my 4-week course right now, Wicked Cash. That's about your North Node and how by setting yourself in divine alignment with your North Node and your South Node, you set yourself up to cash injections in your life and your business. I have that price at $97. And then I have my astrology sessions that range from $200 to $250 right now. Right now they're at $222 because my birthday is tomorrow and I wanted to celebrate that. I have coaching packages that range from 10 grand to $108,000. I can do this because I can hold the range as both a seer, because I can see multiple timelines and multiple realities and potentials and different ways people want to work with me, and different kinds of people and their different backgrounds and their different self-image. I can hold that. I can see the field, and I can also hold it in my own embodiment. I fully believe it's possible to have a soul-aligned business with multiple ways people can work with you. If you check my YouTube, Instagram, if you check my Facebook group, Wealth Priestess, I am intentionally sharing empowering information that's absolutely free, because this is what I believe to be right for me, what is in deep alignment for me. But it may not be for someone else, and that's totally okay. It's how your unique wealth container. It's how you hold the field of potential, how you can play in the quantum, how you can open up your energy and, oh, maybe I'll have a client that wants to invest in a one-on-one 12-month program from me and with me. That's going to transform their life so beautifully. It's going to help them heal. It's going to help them see things they couldn't see before. It's going to help them love and be free in ways they had no idea was possible. Or I have a 4-week group program that's going to allow someone new to business in the online field to really understand what they are doing, where a potential area, their North Node, lies for them to expand into one of their greatest areas of material abundance and material reality, where they can grow in relationships, in business, in community and family. And this is what I believe is possible for everyone. that you, my dear, can choose how to run your own business, how to price yourself, and how to be you fully in your highest divine expression. However, if you have strong judgments, strong opinions, strong programming that you have received, you could say it could be from a past life. You could say it's from your years stepping on a college campus like me. You could say it's from joining an ideology like me, anarcho-feminism, and having your life turn in a different direction because your beliefs completely transform to fit this ideology and this group of people that were living in that way. Or maybe it's from a coach, a mentor, a parent. Maybe it's from your lover, your partner, who's strongly influencing you. Maybe you haven't had the time to think about it until now, to really think about how deep the subconscious mind goes, how much it can hold on to one image, one sensation. Those strong emotions like disgust, shame, guilt, abandonment, fear, we really hold on to those. We hold on to them as protection, when actually that protection is limiting you in your freedom to coexist with your business and your reality at the most abundant frequency. So, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I have one or two other notes, but I'm going to leave them for another time. Let me know if you have any questions on any of what I just shared, or if this is resonating with you, or if you're catching this on the replay. This is something I'm very passionate about. Self-validation in your business and your pricing, and how to learn how to play the game and not be limited by it. No matter what your natural tendencies are. You can make it work for you no matter what. You just have to believe that it's possible for you. And stop putting your energy on other people. You're leaking energy left and right when you do that. When you compare yourself, when you believe in something to be true because someone else is saying it, or your nervous system is dysregulating because of someone's comment, or something feels threatening, or you're doing something which doesn't feel totally true and aligned. You always have choice, my dear. So be brave and choose what it is you really want. I have a birthday special that I have to share too. I'm very excited about this. A lot of you have expressed a desire to work with me. However, pricing has not been in alignment for you to invest in this journey with me. And so for my birthday, now until August 13th, if you're already on my newsletter, you know this. I sent this out a couple days ago. But now through August 13th, you can book a connection call with me where we map out a manifestation goal that you're working with, and we get really clear on what needs to shift in order for you to get it. And we do that, and we see if my 4-week, 1-month birthday offer, this 4-week container that's priced at $777, that's half the rate that my 1-month coaching normally is, which is around $2,000 a month. And I would love to invite you to connect with me in this way. I have many different people signing up for this who have different situations and different manifestation goals, from wanting to relieve pain, wanting to relieve chronic pain, to wanting to have a money injection in their business, to wanting to attract a partner that's really in alignment with where they are now in their life, to someone wanting to have an effortless relocation and new job transition, who's also going through an underworld journey with a pet and a parent, both with difficult diseases right now. So this coaching is very much uniquely tailored for you and where you're at right now. So I'm available for that connection call, and I'll drop that link under this video as well. Many blessings.